Hi everyone, welcome to back the channel Auto Rush. In the evolving landscape of modern warfare, where drones dominate skies and cyber warfare disrupts critical infrastructure, there remains a terrifying constant of raw, unrelenting firepower. Few weapon systems embody that idea more vividly than the TOS-1. The year is 2025, and Russia's fearsome heavy flamethrower system, the TOS-1, has returned with a vengeance, modernized, upgraded, and more devastating than ever before. Originally designed during the Cold War era, the TOS-1A, short for heavy flamethrower system, has always been a brutal combination of thermobaric weaponry and armored vehicle mobility. While it was first introduced in the 1980s, the system gained notoriety in the 21st century for its fearsome ability to flatten fortified enemy positions using explosive pressure and incendiary fire. Fast forward to 2025, and the TOS-1 has undergone a series of radical improvements that make it one of the most terrifying artillery systems on any modern battlefield. At its core, the TOS-1 is mounted on a modified T-72 tank chassis. This platform is battle-tested, rugged, and perfectly suited for front-line warfare. However, in 2025, this base has been improved with new reactive armor plates, upgraded targeting systems, and a modernized engine that allows the TOS-1 to keep up with faster mechanized units. The mobility of the platform ensures that the TOS-1 is not just a stationary rocket launcher, but an agile assault system that can relocate, strike, and reposition in minutes. The launcher module itself holds either 24 or 30 rocket tubes, depending on the variant of TOS-1A or TOS-1M, with the latter being the more recent adaptation. Each rocket is capable of delivering a thermobaric payload that produces devastating overpressure and high temperatures, making it uniquely effective against fortified infantry positions, bunkers, caves, and enemy encampments. In 2025, the payloads have become even more sophisticated. Russian military engineers have incorporated better fuel-air mixture technology, resulting in longer burn time, wider blast radius, and increased lethality. The deployment of thermobaric weapons is no longer just a brute force tactic, it is now an element of strategic psychological warfare. When a TOS-1 fires, the detonation isn't just loud, it's apocalyptic. The initial explosion sends a shockwave that sucks in oxygen, followed by a secondary ignition that incinerates everything in the vicinity. The resulting vacuum can crush lungs and organs, even if structures are left standing. It's not just destruction, it's annihilation. And in 2025, that destructive capability has been refined into a precision instrument. What makes the modern TOS-1 system even more dangerous is its digital integration. Gone are the analog targeting systems of earlier decades. The new TOS-1M integrates real-time data sharing with reconnaissance, satellite feeds, and battlefield management systems. Using this information, the crew can identify targets far more accurately, even beyond line of sight. The system can lock onto GPS coordinates, adjust for weather and terrain conditions, and fire within seconds of receiving targeting data. Precision has now become a deadly force multiplier. Another significant change in 2025 is the crew interface and survivability. Inside the cabin, crew members benefit from thermal imaging displays, automated fire control, and improved communication systems. The protective armor has been bolstered to defend against anti-tank missiles and IEDs, and an advanced NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical, filtration system ensures that the TOS-1 can operate in contaminated environments, an important feature in modern hybrid warfare scenarios. The modern TOS-1 is not limited to traditional war zones. Russian forces have reimagined the role of the system for urban combat as well. In cities, where enemy forces hide in reinforced concrete structures or underground tunnels, the TOS-1's thermobaric rockets can reach into places that conventional munitions cannot. With just a few salvos, entire blocks can be reduced to rubble, eliminating threats hidden deep within buildings or subterranean complexes. It is not just a battlefield tool, it's a weapon of dominance. In terms of logistics, The Russian military has also streamlined the reloading and support process. Specialized armored resupply vehicles accompany TOS-1 units, allowing them to rearm under cover quickly. This keeps the system in the fight longer and allows continuous pressure on enemy positions. In past conflicts, one of the limitations of heavy rocket artillery was its need to retreat for resupply. In 2025, that limitation has been addressed through automation and operational flexibility. Tactically, the TOS-1 is deployed not as a lone wolf but as part of combined arms formations, accompanied by infantry fighting vehicles, main battle tanks, and DOV squadrons. The TOS-1 can act as a shock force, opening up hardened positions ahead of advancing troops. Its ability to clear out bunkers and enemy trenches within seconds makes it a valuable tool for rapid assault scenarios. During drills and exercises in 2024 and 2025, the TOS-1 was shown supporting airborne troops, coastal defense units, and Arctic brigades, demonstrating its versatility across a wide spectrum of Russian military operations. But let's talk about geopolitics. The modernized TOS-1 isn't just a weapon, it's a statement. Its presence on the battlefield sends a message of overwhelming force. Russia has used the platform to demonstrate its capability to dominate regional conflicts with terrifying efficiency. Nations like Syria, Iraq, and Kazakhstan have shown interest in acquiring or upgrading their own TOS-1 systems. The international community, however, remains deeply concerned over the ethical implications of thermobaric weapons, especially in civilian-heavy regions. International law does not specifically prohibit thermobaric weapons, but their usage in urban or populated areas raises serious concerns. In 2025, organizations such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International continue to monitor the deployment of the TOS-1, particularly in conflict zones where civilian casualties could be devastating. Russia, meanwhile, maintains that the TOS-1 is used strictly in accordance with military necessity and targeting protocols. Still, the sheer terror inflicted by this system has made it one of the most controversial weapons in the modern arsenal. Looking toward the future, Russia is already experimenting with semi-autonomous versions of the TOS-1. These advanced variants could potentially be unmanned, using AI-based target recognition to identify and engage threats. Although these are still in early prototype stages, the concept of a robotic TOS-1 brings a whole new dimension to the battlefield. Imagine a remotely operated thermobaric system that can deploy itself, lock onto targets, and unleash devastation without risking a single crew member. It's not science fiction, it's an active research program. In addition to AI integration, there are also plans to introduce drone-assisted targeting and loitering munitions. These smaller RAVs can identify and designate high-value enemy assets, relay that information to the TOS-1 platform, and allow for immediate response. The convergence of drone technology with heavy artillery is redefining the doctrine of modern warfare, and the TOS-1 is at the center of it. Furthermore, advancements in thermobaric chemistry are underway. Russian defense contractors are reportedly developing smart fuel-air mixtures that can self-adjust combustion levels based on environmental variables. This means more efficient burn cycles, greater explosive yields, and reduced weight per munition. The implications of this are immense. A single TOS-1 rocket in 2025 can do the work that used to require several in the past. Let's also not forget the psychological dimension of the TOS-1. Modern warfare isn't just about physical destruction, it's about breaking the will of the enemy. The mere sound of a TOS-1 launching a salvo has been described as a thunderclap of doom. Troops who have faced the system in past conflicts recount the panic, disorientation, and utter confusion it causes. In 2025, with its upgraded range and targeting, the TOS-1 strikes faster and from farther away, reducing the enemy's time to react or evacuate. On the defensive side, countering the TOS-1 remains a challenge. It is well armored, mobile, and operates behind front lines. Traditional anti-armor weapons can be effective, but only if the TOS-1 is exposed or isolated. Modern armies are exploring electronic warfare, drone swarms, and GPS jamming as possible countermeasures. However, The TOS-1's resilience and the support it receives from surrounding units make it a difficult target to neutralize. In 2025, Russia has also emphasized the export potential of the TOS-1. Countries with histories of internal conflict or regional tension have shown interest in purchasing the system. Negotiations are ongoing with several Asian, Middle Eastern, and African nations, though these are often complicated by arms embargoes and international scrutiny. The prospect of thermobaric artillery being deployed in proxy wars or civil conflicts raises questions about escalation and accountability. The TOS-1, in foreign hands, could change regional balances overnight. The TOS-1 is more than just a weapon, it's a battlefield game changer. It represents a hybrid of brute force and modern technology, a legacy of Soviet design merged with 21st century warfare needs. From desert warfare to urban sieges, from tundra operations to coastal defenses, the TOS-1 is proving itself as one of the most adaptable and feared weapons in Russia's arsenal. As 2025 unfolds, one thing is clear: the TOS-1 is not going away. It has evolved, matured, and expanded its role in ways no one could have fully anticipated decades ago. It is no longer just a flamethrower on a tank. It's an icon of shock and awe. In a world of surgical strikes and stealth operations, the TOS-1 reminds everyone that sometimes, overwhelming firepower still rules the battlefield. It doesn't hide in the shadows. It announces its presence with a wall of fire. Let me know if you'd like this adapted.